In the bottom right side of Grasbon, we are looking at the main base of the man who displayed some great defensive play and some great Warp Prism micro overall. Unfortunately, it was barely not enough after his opponent pulled all the probes, and not often do probes make a difference in a fight. But against 3 Immortals in the Prism, it absolutely does. Platinum Heroes ArT needs to win 3 in a row. Against this man, our feisty, young, beautiful and full of life German Protoss up by 2. Went for the mind games, and it kind of worked out. It still became a very close game. Berserker Esports is Spatz. What logic is that? That 9 and 2 is ahead of 11 and 0? It's the WTL code as logic, apparently. But I guess that means that we should just try to beat them without going to an ace match. But honestly, that is pretty stupid. Imagine explaining that over and over and over again. Hey, Ronnie. If Basilisk is 11 and 0, why are they second? Because the guys that went 9 and 2 did better. So then I do really hope that either we just beat them in the first 3 best of 2s, or let them beat us. So at least we're both 10 and 1, you know. But if we beat them in an ace match, that's honestly going to feel kind of sour. Just make a comment in the title and no one will ask. Sure. Like that has ever stopped people from asking. Since when do people read? Literally no one reads, mate. That ain't happening. You don't actually think it's stupid? I do think it's stupid. I think map scores are important if you're tied in victories. But a team that goes 11 and 0 should never be below a team that goes 9 and 2. Like that is just you're not ever going to convince me that the guys that went 9 and 2, 9 wins 2 losses, did better than the team that won every single match. Like that is not a good system. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. They might send out Crank at that point. All right, that's enough about the WTL, guys. We need to focus a little bit on what's happening over here. Since Spatz has let the pylon finish up in the main base of ArT. ArT who had a 1 gateway setup, but also had a proxy gate, which is very weird. Maybe trying to sell something. I don't know how well these guys know each other. I don't know if there's crazy mind games. But we're about to have a fight, maybe with 3 Stalkers against 2 Stalkers. Spatz not really buying it though, as he's going for a very defensive robo. Ooh, needs to run. There's 1 more Stalker on the left. This could go well. And again, this Stalker is going to have a hard time syncing up with this Stalker. There's 2 more Stalkers coming in from Spatz, but they're pretty far away. Every single time you stop to shoot, you take more shots to the face, and Spatz ends up losing a Stalker, and you don't want to take that fight, mate. 4 against 3, no matter how good your micro is. That is simply not a fight you ever want to take. Yeah. Spatz now waiting for his... hello? Okay. It's very scary to ever walk up a ramp. We actually know that ArT could have clicked on that ramp and continued that fight for a split second, but obviously if he cannot know that, he has no high ground vision, and if you get force fielded in and you lose 3 Stalkers, you kill nothing, you lose the game. So it makes sense that he didn't have the courage to do that, or perhaps the very high IQ to do that. Sometimes it does pay in StarCraft to be stupid though. I would have absolutely clicked in there, kill another Stalker, get a good scout off, and then once in a blue moon lose the game. Spatz goes for a very quick Robo Bay, so it's a 1 base Robo Bay. Seems to be very convinced that this is a Robo against Robo game. So I'm a little bit surprised by it because he hasn't actually seen the Robo yet. He is going to be very happy though once he sees that there is a Nexus. He's like, woohoo! That is good. Because now ArT is most likely going to defend with a bunch of slow gateway units. And all of these units have a very hard time avoiding Purification Novas. We have a hallucinated Immortal in the mix here for ArT. That's kind of cute. There's a Warp Prism for ArT on the other side of the map as well. That Prism could warp into Adepts, and that's exactly what it's done, or already did earlier. And these Adepts just hopped out. And also gets a very good scout off. Like if I'm... oh, Nexus, by the way, Nexus so low on HP, the Nexus dies. I'm a bit surprised actually, because this army was not any better than this army. But ArT just seems to be very focused on dealing some economic damage. And I was about to say, if I was ArT in this spot, I would say make your life easier and just drop a Stargate. Don't overcomplicate things. Just go for a Stargate, mate. You get a Phoenix out and you'll be fine. And you don't have to worry too much. It's obviously good news for Spatz that he has picked up on the fact there is a Stargate. What should Spatz do here, guys? Can you expand if you have only 20 probes? Do you go double Stargate? What do you do here if you're Spatz? I think expand and pressure is probably the best call. Ooh, here, ArT. I think you need to expand, but you also need to apply pressure. You can't just expand and sit at home, because then you're gonna fall behind. Uh-oh, Warp Prism is actually so close to falling. It's one hit away. As we have that Prism from Spatz picking up one Immortal, one... They can actually win that fight. Rico has been used. ArT is gonna bring his Prism home safely. He's got a hallucinated Phoenix looking for scouting info too. Here comes the Speedy Prism of ArT. It has the upgrade. Immortal can hop out. And then obviously the Disruptor is going to hop out. And we're going to get a nice Purification Nova on 7 or so probes. 6 probes that go down to the very first Nova. One Phoenix is out, but... Okay. Apparently is scary enough to go for the Recall immediately. Careful! Force Fields, mate! Force Fields are very big here because these Stalkers don't have Blink, of course. So Spatz ends up losing 2 Force Fields. Or 2 Stalkers. 2 Force Fields. Or 3 in the end. Doesn't really matter. Both of them expanding, but the expand of ArT has pretty much been finished up. Meanwhile, Spatz's one is just starting. Do have 3 Disruptors though. It's going to be very hard to get somewhat decent trades against 3 Disruptors here. The Phoenix count is at 2. Disruptor count is at 3. We're going to go for a Nova. It's going to be so difficult. Okay, that's very deep. We're going to fire 2 Novas at the same time. That is good enough to kill an Immortal. If the shots sync up, but they didn't sync up. So the barrier actually came into play. And perhaps not the best start there for Spatz. He does have one more though. I gotta say, it's crazy that he's doing this. We can lift the Immortal here. ArT, what do you want to go for? Here are the Disruptors. They will shoot and they will score. That is 10 probes going down. But at the same time now, Spatz is losing his Immortal. And does he have a battery on the long ground? Not yet. What are we going to do here? We cannot recall, by the way, Spatz. I hope you know that. Is he about to lose the Warp Prism and 2 Disruptors, guys? Because he can't recall. You simply cannot recall. And Phoenixes are quicker than a Warp Prism with speed. It's not a big difference, but it's a big enough difference. One of the Disruptors dies inside. If the Stalkers battling Immortals. One more Disruptor shows up, though. Fires early, and it whiffs. There's one Disruptor that's now looking for a flank, guys. Okay, Phoenix, can it lift it in time? No, what a great shot. And now there's one more flanking Disruptor coming in from the back. Spatz, honestly, is starting to look alright here. Can he overcharge? Yes, but that Disruptor is out of range. Oh, losing the Warp Prism is a problem. All the Spatz really needs to do is run to his battery. Flanking Disruptor only gets a single Zealot. But Stalkers don't care about Immortals if they are being healed up by an overcharged battery. And this should honestly be a good fight for Spatz in the end. As he's going to be able to pick up the majority of the Stalkers. We have 4 Phoenixes. Can this Disruptor fire one more time? Do we have any Stalkers left for ArT? No. Yes. 1. I mean, that's a massive dub for Spatz in the end. And these guys have some crazy games. We're now 10 minutes in. It's 32 probes against 27. 19 workers have fallen on the side of ArT. Only 8 have gone down on the side of Spatz. ArT doesn't really know what to do anymore, so he's like, you know what? I should get a Dark Shrine too. We can play Phoenix DT, baby. So, Spatz has the Robo. Does not have an Observer, but why wouldn't you ever get an Ops? Hard time believing that the Dark Templars are randomly going to win the game. Maybe ArT can set up some sort of a combo where he snipes the 1 Observer of Spatz if Spatz ends up with 1 Observer. With the Phoenixes. And then he knows that Spatz has no detection. And then the DTs just kill the Robo and win the game. A serious amount of hopium there, but We do already have, guys, a pylon and a gateway. So as soon as the Dark Shrine is done, you can actually just warp in a few DTs. Spatz, did he just forget about the fact that he's got a robo, or what's happening here? This robo is only powered by single pylon, but at least that pylon is powered by the battery. Spatz is going to find that setup on the bottom side of the map. 2 DTs have been warped in though. Honestly, guys, if 2 DTs get on top of the pylon, of the battery immediately, and then they go for the pylon, okay, now Spatz seems to know all of a sudden that he needs to worry about the invisible guy. He's going to chrono boost out an observer, and it's going to be right on time. Keeps the first DT out of the main. The second one might get like a few probes, but it's not going to get a whole lot more. ArT is definitely getting a little bit unlucky in this series. I think these two are very evenly matched. It's just that all the little things are going Spatz's way, and very little is going ArT his way. What do we do now? ArT has charge. Phoenix, Immortal, charge. Not a bad army comp to have against Blink Stalkers. 3 bases. I guess we're just gonna kind of stabilize from here on out. Take the game from here. Currently, definitely advantage Spatz. There is no other way to put it. But with the army that ArT is working with, it's very close. I believe there is still a way to make something of this game. Especially because Spatz is a little bit of an aggro monkey. Where he likes to attack all the time. But attacking into Phoenixes, Zealots and Immortals is going to be difficult. ArT should honestly build more Phoenix. The Phoenix are going to be super useful against that one Disruptor that's still out. Against Blink Stalkers that are trying to poke and prod and get in and out of range. And having 6 or 7 Phoenix is also very good against a bunch of Zealots. Since the Zealots are obviously light armored units and the Phoenixes kill them quicker. Couple sentries for GA. With GA, who's GA, mate? I think sentries are not particularly great here. I guess sentries could be nice for Spatz, to be fair. Then you can maybe force field an Immortal in. Oh, for Guardian Ancient, you mean Guardian Shield? Wouldn't go too many sentries. I'd prefer to use my gas right now on Immortals and Phoenixes. ArT is now building another Phoenix, cancels it, instead is going to just try to get as many gateways as possible. Having a single Guardian Shield is always nice, but you don't really need more than that. These Archons would be very useful against the Zealots. Zealots are not quite done yet. So it's about the Immortals, keeping the Immortals alive against the Blinky boys. This one Disruptor is a problem, by the way. It seems that ArT just wants to use his Phoenixes to deal with this one Disruptor. Spatz setting up a flank, and he does have the proxy gateway there. So we are going to have a flank. A single battery would have been so nice here for ArT. Unfortunately, he does not have a single battery. The Nova does get cancelled, but it's so many Zealots. And since the gateway is right here, Spatz is actually going to be able to wipe the floor with his army and get the clean sweep. GG. A 3-0, guys, between Spatz and ArT in the round of 16.